Now, plot is an interesting thing, and it sort of can be represented by this chart that you're seeing right now. It's called a plot chart, and it takes us through the various areas of plot. I like to think of this kind of like a little bit of a roller coaster ride. So sit back, relax, and check this roller coaster ride out for yourself as you learn about the plot chart. You're probably wondering why I'm inside of this roller coaster car. Well, I just happen to have a book here and I'm starting to read it. It's called Z for Zachariah by Robert C. O'Brien. It's a good book. It's about what the world would be like after a nuclear explosion. Pretty interesting, pretty tense at times. And whenever I'm reading a book, whether it's Z for Zachariah or any book, I feel like the plot takes me on a roller coaster ride. So I'm going to represent that roller coaster ride with you as I take a look at the story here. And in the beginning of the story, I get the exposition. So I'm kind of at the bottom of the roller coaster. Oh boy, look at that. Looking up at that huge hill. The exposition sets up for me the characters, the setting, some of the basic information that I need to know about the story before I get to the top of that peak up there. Okay, oh my goodness. Oh boy. Oh, I'm going up this hill. This is the rising action, and you can tell I've got a long way to go. You know, this story, as it sets up throughout most of the middle, oh boy, we're getting higher as we go. Throughout most of the story, it lays out for me more information. Some of the plot is thickening at this point. And this is all a part of that rising action, and I'm going up and up and up, headed towards that peak. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whoa. Oh, I seem to have stopped right here at the top of this peak. This is what we call the climax. Now the climax of the story is the highest point. As you can clearly see, I have reached the climax of this particular story. Now the climax of the story is the highest part. It's the highest tension. In this story, or in any story, the climax is going to be when the characters reach that critical point in the story. You've all felt it, the point when there's the most tension. Everything in the story has been building up to the climax. So here I am. It appears there's only one way to go, and that would be... Yikes! Whoa! Whoa! Oh my goodness! I'm going through the falling action right now, and as you can tell, I am falling. After the climax, there's always some sort of falling action as a result of that major action up there on the climax. Now we're going through the falling action, and now we're leveling out again. We've reached the resolution. The resolution of the story is usually at the end of the story. It's when all the details are being wrapped up for me. So after that excellent climb, the rising action, I reached the peak, which is the climax. I had a little bit of a dip for the falling action, and now I've leveled out again for the resolution. So my goodness, what a roller coaster ride this has been. And again, whenever you're reading a book, think about it like a roller coaster, and that'll help you to keep in mind this idea of a plot chart.